Welcome back to the Gossip Wire, the hottest channel for celebrity news and gossip. Today, we're exploring a story that's lit up social media feeds across the globe. At first glance, it seems like an unfortunate California wildfire. Yet, a growing number of voices claim there's something far more sinister behind the smoke. Some say Sean Diddy Combs stands at the center of a tangled web of secrets that big-name celebrities are desperate to keep hidden. Others insist it's all wild speculation fueled by internet conspiracies. The situation gets even stranger when you factor in allegations of masked arsonists, suspicious explosions, and cryptic social media posts suggesting large-scale cover-ups. How did a wildfire emergency transform into a swirling storm of suspicion involving Hollywood elites, potential blackmail materials, and entire neighborhoods burned to ash in the process? California is no stranger to wildfires. Every few years, fires leave a heartbreaking trail of devastation, homes reduced to rubble, and entire communities struggling to rebuild. Yet even by California's standards, the winter blazes took a weird turn right from the start. Residents reported seeing not just walls of fire, but sudden bursts of flame in areas that hadn't caught fire yet, along with strange explosions echoing across quiet neighborhoods. It didn't help that several celebrities in these affected areas started implying that something deeper was at play.
Sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which, it's an insane thing to think.
They dropped vague hints about not adding up and the need for real answers.
And what could it be, I don't know. Do they want the state empty?
These cryptic posts ignited an online brushfire of speculation. Some began to piece together timelines, pointing out that certain spots caught fire out of nowhere, almost as if they'd been deliberately targeted. Over time, these oddities formed into a widespread theory. Maybe these weren't ordinary fires at all. Instead, they might have been orchestrated by powerful people aiming to destroy evidence related to something possibly career-ending. Skeptics rolled their eyes, labeling it yet another conspiracy. But those in the know insisted that this was just the tip of the iceberg. The hush-hush attitude from officials and the pockets of flame popping up around Los Angeles suggested that these fires might be more than just Mother Nature's fury, and that lingering doubt laid the groundwork for the rumor that one of music's most famous moguls was somehow involved. As the wildfires raged, a rumor began to circulate online. Diddy was allegedly at the center of a deep and tangled plot. The claim was that he possessed sensitive information that threatened some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. According to these whispers, the reason entire neighborhoods were being scorched was to destroy any evidence before it could fall into the hands of the law. On the surface, it sounds like a late-night conspiracy. Why would a music icon be sitting on a pile of incriminating evidence? And why would people risk arson just to bury it? For the believers, there was a pattern emerging. They noted that the areas facing the worst of the flames were suspiciously close to homes owned by people tied to Diddy's inner circle. Why did certain houses burn to the ground while others remained oddly untouched, as if the fires choose their targets? In this swirl of theories, the one common thread was that Diddy wasn't just a random scapegoat, but a key figure with a motive to protect himself and others. Some anonymous insiders claimed that Diddy was in a precarious position, armed with potentially explosive tapes that might ruin more than a few A-listers' careers if they ever got out. According to these sources, disposing of physical evidence before a police raid was crucial. Setting entire areas of Los Angeles ablaze to accomplish that might seem overkill, but to those who believe the allegations, it's a twisted logic that fits with the level of power and money at stake. One of the boldest claims swirling around this entire situation is the existence of a so-called Diddy list. People say Diddy spent years collecting compromising info about fellow celebrities, from megastar musicians to household name actors. Some rumors even insinuate that the content of these alleged materials is so scandalous that entire careers would implode if the details got out. So, what exactly is on this list? Ideas vary widely, but the most prevalent rumors revolve around private videos and documents hinting at everything from secret affairs to financial corruption. There's even talk of allegations involving the exploitation of minors.
Plans to pursue legal action against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on behalf of more than 100 victims. More than 24 of those future plaintiffs say they were just kids when Combs allegedly assaulted them.
Still, the theory alone is enough to send shockwaves through fan communities. If any of it were true, the the entertainment industry could face a scandal bigger than anything it has weathered before. A few years back, a handful of lawyers and industry insiders discussed the possibility that Diddy maintained records of who attended his private parties, what happened behind closed doors, and which exotic amusements were present. At the time, they were brushed off as typical Hollywood rumors. But in light of these new accusations and the suspicious fires, people are revisiting those old conversations with fresh eyes. In one widely shared clip, a self-proclaimed insider insisted they had been approached to broker a deal for one of the incriminating tapes. The insider claimed the footage was filmed without everyone's knowledge and featured activities that would undoubtedly shift public perception of major celebrities if it came out. While this is hardly solid info, it poured gasoline on the speculation that a pile of secretive material existed and that certain famous figures would spare no expense to keep it buried. Before the flames started licking at the edges of luxury properties, a woman named Allison Carter stepped into the limelight with a chilling prediction. She warned that fires and accidents would soon sweep across areas of Los Angeles.
A lot's about to come out, another arrest is coming again. Watch for those fires.
All in an effort to hide evidence. Skeptics dismissed her as a social media personality seeking fame through dramatic claims. But once the wildfires actually broke out, the clips of Allison's warnings began to resurface, transforming her from a dismissed doomsayer to a potential prophet of Hollywood darkness. Carter claims to have knowledge of how deep the dark side of the entertainment industry goes. She alleges that she was present at exclusive parties thrown by Diddy. According to her, what she witnessed behind those doors was more than just harmless fun. She describes questionable activities, hidden cameras, and an unspoken code of silence among guests. When she first shared her experiences online, not many took her seriously. But when her predictions about distractions and fires started to materialize almost word for word, people returned to her videos, replaying them with a new sense of urgency. In the recordings, Allison speaks about an impending crackdown on illicit Hollywood dealings, where certain elites would orchestrate chaos to disrupt investigations. "There's no protocol for what's about to happen," she famously stated, adding that, "The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest." One of the key aspects of her message was the emphasis on everything from orchestrated deaths to blazing infernos, all supposedly choreographed to keep the public's eyes off the real prize, incriminating evidence that could topple careers and spark massive legal trouble. While Allison Carter's revelations came from the fringes of online discourse, Catherine Fitz's voice carried a different kind of weight. A former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Fitz has long been vocal about systemic corruption in both government and corporate sectors. She's not an internet personality chasing viral fame, she's a professional who has seen the inner workings of politics and economics up close. When she began looking at these California wildfires and monumental cover-ups from American history, many paused to listen more carefully. Fitz also speaks broadly about the spider web, an extensive network tying together executives, politicians, entertainers, and even organized crime. According to her, these ties can become so tangled that removing one thread risks unraveling the entire design. To keep everything intact, those in the web will go to extraordinary lengths, including engineered chaos. From her viewpoint, orchestrated disasters aren't new. Her theories suggest that what's happening in Hollywood right now might simply be the latest manifestation of a centuries-old pattern. In the context of the alleged Diddy tapes, Catherine Fitz's warnings about power structures taking drastic measures to self-preserve ring eerily pertinent. Could it be that the world is once again witnessing a coordinated attempt to keep a scandal under wraps, orchestrated by those with wealth and influence? While rumors about planned wildfires circulated online, tangible evidence surfaced through dozens of videos and first-hand reports. One particular clip shows a news reporter broadcasting from a smoldering community when a sudden explosion rips through the background. The cause of the explosion went unexplained, with officials brushing it off as unidentified combustibles. But for many, it was an unsettling moment that only deepened the suspicion something else was going on. Social media became hotbeds for eyewitness accounts. Users claimed they saw people in ski masks wandering near yet-to-burn brush areas, just minutes before those areas erupted in flames. Meanwhile, celebrities took to their social channels, voicing opinions that ventured far beyond standard stay-safe messages. Chris Brown's cryptic note about the entire situation not adding up fueled a wave of speculation. It was enough to make the public wonder if officials were keeping certain details under wraps. By this point, the theories tying these events to Diddy's rumored tapes reached a new high. If even half of the unconfirmed sightings were true, it suggested an alarming level of coordination. As smoke clouds lingered above charred suburbs, many found it impossible to dismiss the idea that larger forces might be orchestrating this chaos, all in the name of protecting a secret so scandalous it could shake Hollywood to its core. Amid the chaos of burning homes, a bombshell dropped online, an alleged phone call between Diddy and his son Christian. The audio quality wasn't the best, but one part rang out clearly enough to raise eyebrows.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
Diddy instructed Christian to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. As the conversation continued, Christian realized what his father truly meant, at which point the call abruptly ended. Various podcasters analyzed the audio frame by frame and observed Christian's voice trembling near the end, interpreting it as fear about what he was being asked to do. In the absence of official confirmation, theories grew, turning leaked audio into a labyrinth of speculation. The call kept fueling the overarching narrative that Diddy and his inner circle were in crisis mode, scrambling to erase any trace of evidence before an imminent raid. And if you buy into the idea that some A-listers would commit arson to protect themselves, then a secret phone call about discarding pizza boxes might just be a piece of the puzzle in this high-stakes mystery. The California wildfires left untold destruction in their wake, upending communities and putting countless families on edge. Yet, as the embers cooled, a different kind of heat continued to build, an intense debate over whether these fires were a product of climate conditions or an elaborate smokescreen orchestrated by the industry's most powerful players. From Allison Carter's predictions about chaotic distractions to Catherine Fitz's weighty cautionary tales about historic cover-ups, the narrative has grown increasingly tangled. At the center of it all is the alleged Diddy list, a supposed collection of compromising materials that Diddy curated over years of navigating Hollywood's inner circles. When you combine that with rumors of masked arsonists, cryptic social media posts, and a bizarre leaked phone call about pizza boxes, it's no wonder that the public is convinced these blazes weren't coincidental. Hollywood has no shortage of real-life scandals. Could this entire scenario be the biggest cover-up the industry has ever seen? Or is it a perfect storm of natural disaster and internet hysteria, fueled by the suspicion that the elites often play by a different set of rules? Thanks for supporting the Gossip Wire. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more of the hottest celebrity news online.